What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today we gonna be checking out how NBA Youngboy blackballed himself, man. Salute to the Waster for this video. Listen, this whole blackball thing for NBA Youngboy, I said this many times before. You know, when Youngboy first came into the industry, he was the most beloved, man. Everybody said he was next up. He was gonna carry the torch for years to come, man. Everybody wanted to collab with him. And I feel like as time went on, the Youngboy became a bigger artist. If I can give my opinion on what happened, I think it's a combination of his issues with King Von, which eventually led to Von's demise. R.I.P. King Von. But even though that did not have anything to do with NBA Youngboy that specific night, it's just by association. So it's a combination of his issues with Von as well as the house arrest. I think the house arrest took a massive toll on NBA Youngboy these last couple of years. You know, just his legal issues, man. Legal issues too. But we gonna check this video out, man. See what points the Waster got in this, man. How NBA Youngboy blackballed himself. Let's get it.
Has never made things easy for himself. Even after he became a multimillionaire, the life he led meant that the law was never far behind. Spiraling into drug use and left stranded on house arrest with no real connection to the world beyond his fortress in Utah, Youngboy has spent the past few years making enemies in the industry too. And with nowhere left to turn to and charges racking up, it seems like this time, Youngboy might actually be cooked. It's your boy Waster, and this is the story of the never-ending sabotage of NBA Youngboy. At the moment, NBA Youngboy is in the toughest spot of his entire life. Courtesy of a laundry list of charges against him, the rapper is now facing up to a decade behind bars. This has taken place after he had already spent the better part of the past few years on house arrest relating to a firearm charge. And now, his own fans are worried that this is the end of the line, placing most of the blame on his own inability to straighten up and fly right. If he wasn't cooked already, the fraud charge did it. All because he couldn't stay off the pills. I'm talking about burnt fries cooked.
It's crazy though, cause like you think about it, the pills, the drugs, man, the demons that he was fighting. But like I said, I feel like it's a domino effect, and I'm not making excuses, bro. I said it in videos before. You know, Youngboy needed to leave that stuff alone, and he needed help. He needed help bad. He needed a facility. But I feel like it's a domino effect from house arrest. You ain't got nothing else to do. You're locked inside all day. It leads to addiction. It leads to you got time to do this stuff now. And you got the money. You got the bankroll to do this at the same time. But yeah, that's what really cooked him.
So here's a little bit of background on how he got to this tenuous point in his young life. Despite having 4 #1 albums on the Billboard 200 and even being the 3rd most streamed artist of 2020, Youngboy has never been able to stay out of prison. In all honesty, the two constants in his life since he rose to fame have been releasing music and doing stints behind bars. And crazily, his current legal dramas started on the set of a music video where he was one of 16 people on federal gun charges. A dozen guns were seized after neighbors raised the alarm. And as a convicted felon, the feds, who YB's lawyers claim launched a campaign to get him in the pen known as Operation Never Free Again, threw the book at him. But it could have been a lot worse. He was placed on house arrest in his adopted home of Utah while serving out a probation violation and awaited trial. At this point, Youngboy seemed to be imagining life after the ankle tag. As of November 2022, his manager was even teasing an upcoming tour alongside Quando Rondo that would controversially start in Chicago. But as of April of this year, the gun charges were about to become the least of his worries. While awaiting trial beginning in July, he was hauled by the authorities due to what they initially claimed was patterns of unlawful activity, procuring or attempting to procure drugs, identity fraud, forgery, possession of controlled substances, and possession of a dangerous weapon. In total, he was hit with 20 counts of identity fraud, 20 counts of obtaining a prescription under false pretenses, and over 20 counts of forgery. With all these felonies to what was described as a large-scale prescription fraud ring, it was obvious that Youngboy had been busy with more than just music while trapped at his mansion in Utah. But this wasn't an operation intended to make Youngboy richer. Instead, it was a case of Youngboy getting high off his own supply. As part of an elaborate scam, Youngboy had been posing as a doctor among other aliases to try and get his fix.
And that right away, when I read that detail, I'm like, he was posing as a doctor. I heard he was posing as an old woman. It's like, man, I feel like, and this is why I feel the justice system needs certain things in place, man. You put somebody on house arrest that has a rap sheet, that has a history of whether it be criminal charges or drug charges or whatever. You putting them on house arrest without giving them any resources. Have somebody check on him, wellness checks. Have him being able to, yeah, I understand he's on house arrest, send him to a facility, a rehab center. Y'all not putting anything to help him. I get he's a grown man, he makes his own decisions, but I feel like when it comes down to the justice system, they quick to send somebody to prison and call it rehabilitation. Prison is not rehabilitation. Some people get out of prison more fucked up than they was when they went in. It's crazy, man. Like they didn't have any resources for them. They just said stay in the house, which I get. It's easier said than done. I know I would be straight in the crib. I don't like leaving the crib, but somebody like Youngboy who is still battling demons, man, you needed resources in place.
This immediately set off alarm bells with pharmacists who felt that the way he talked was an immediate giveaway.
Usually don't get a doctor calling in a cough syrup themselves. That'll be like a nurse or something. But then just their medical terminology was off. The quantities, the way they pronounced the things, everything was suspicious.
In court documents, it was revealed that this wasn't a singular incident, with the filings claiming that the rapper, real name Control Golden, was accused of, quote, posing as medical professionals by contacting pharmacies and requesting prescriptions using the genuine names and birth dates of unsuspecting victims. Subsequently, his associates would allegedly collect the prescribed medications from neighboring pharmacies. Among the craziest accusations leveled at Youngboy was that he didn't just pose as a doctor, but as a little old lady by the name of Gwendelyn Cox. But the Baton Rouge accent betrayed his cover.
Bro, and you got all these niggas in your crib. You could have got one of the armed security guards to do this. Why would you do it? You up. Why would... I'm not saying that he should have done it, but nigga, you got everybody around you.
Gwendelyn sounded as though she was a much younger male from the southern states, said an eyewitness who had allegedly been on the phone with Youngboy in disguise. Gwendelyn made a statement saying, well, I asked her to, and she said that she'll have you call me. This statement was a response to a request that was made to have Gwendelyn contact dispatch and have them transfer her call back through. I have lived in the southern United States. The terminology in replacing the word ask with ax or other variations is consistent with a southern dialect in states such as Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and other southern states. After this call, two of Youngboy's associates were arrested in a car registered to him while attempting to retrieve the drugs. Even then, he wouldn't stop pursuing the prescription. Control Golden continued to attempt to further the prescription fraud by talking about the prescription and saying she on the hospital bed, referring to the patient Gwendelyn Cox from the previous day.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny because it's like, bro, this is like some movie shit. You called a pharmacy trying to pose as a doctor. She on the hospital bed. That's crazy.
As wild and almost comical as it seems, the lengths that Youngboy went to try to get these drugs have made his legal woes so much worse. But this whole situation also speaks to the depths of his addiction and how much it's consumed both his career and potential to finally make it out and enjoy the fame and fortune that his music has earned him. Ever since Youngboy rose to fame, there was no denying that he was an immediately troubled young man. It was one of the things that made his music so compelling, with his gritty street poetry painting such vivid pictures of a life that most of his listeners were lucky enough not to experience. But while this made him a millionaire, it's clear that it was a lot to carry around.
I have all bad days. I think I need help. I got an anger problem. And I ain't no hiding from gun violence. I ain't no hiding from violence, period. It's either jail or death like Lily. I ain't no living out there.
Even as his success snowballed, he said in 2020 that he was struggling to escape the pearls of his life and was looking for any assistance that he could find.
I'm still in a dark place inside my life. I'm still hurting, but I'm still always praying though.
Although he never shied away.
See, it's like, it's crazy because you see the interviews throughout the years. You see, you know, him in the car in this video talking about it, man. Like, I feel like for Youngboy, I don't think he truly knew how to really express that he needed, that he just wanted somebody to say, hey, I got you. We gonna get you some help. I feel like maybe it's a part of being stubborn. And I get it, because I'm like that too. I don't like asking somebody directly for help. You put some subliminals out there to see if anybody could catch on, you know. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Hurting, but I'm still always praying though.
Although he never shied away from admitting he had taken drugs to take away the pain in his rhymes, his narcotics use has been an ongoing concern for fans in recent years. And now that it's led him to a 10-year sentence, it's obviously been one of the main contributing factors of his own downfall. In recent months, he shared disturbing photos which showed the extent of what he was getting himself into.
This has literally been a cry for help. This is like, come on, man. You can't tell me. And whoever took this picture right here, man, y'all kind of fucked up. It was like, bro, you don't ask questions of why he wants a picture like this taken. Why there's 2 handfuls of pills right there with it. That's crazy.
Such as this Instagram post that you're seeing on the screen, where the caption said, "And that's why I don't pick up the phone when it rings," with a picture showing him surrounded by Xanax and a cup of lean. This sparked concerns from fans who wonder what his motivations behind this are. Bro got everything in the world and wanna die so bad. Weird. I feel like these be cry for help and everyone laughs it off. In another instance, he seemed to be alerting the public to the pain he was in via his cat Neon's Instagram. "It's me, Neon. I've been seeing a lot. My dad's so unhealthy, it's scary. Even his mental. He blows his money making people smile who don't care to see the signs that's literally in their face. 20 Xans a day. Please #help."
Yo, and this, of course, listen, this is what I mean. I don't want to blame the people that was around him, but he does a lot for his team, for his people. Y'all could have got this man some help. You know, yes, it's fucked up. 10 years in prison. He's looking at a lot of time, but you got to look at the silver lining. He still has his life. He still has his life, because God forbid, listen, I get scared when I get up every day. I get scared when I unlock my phone in the morning, right? And I go on Instagram. You see somebody else passed away. So-and-so got shot. So-and-so overdosed. Found dead. Young people. People that we listen to, that we watch on movies. Listen, I would have hated to see that be the ending for NBA Youngboy. At 24 years old, 23 years old, it would have been sad, man. That would have been so tragic, man. I get, as fans, it's selfish to us because, you know, yeah, we want the music, but we got to make sure he's good. Nobody made sure he was good. And yeah, the silver lining of him getting caught the way he did, this probably happened for a reason. It happened the way it was supposed to, because if it didn't happen, we probably would have seen that headline on Instagram or Academic Say Cheese of NBA Youngboy passing away, and that would have been a terrible thing to see, man. A lot of y'all don't want to hear that, but it's the truth.
P.S. My bowl Celine and my first Birkin bag on the way. But what really matters is him. But what the cat did to raise awareness of the situation is more than what his friends have. Acting more like enablers than anything, they just seem to be there to document it rather than try to stop it. 10 at one time ain't safe. I've seen him do 32 in one night. I promise I'm here to talk to him every day. Which was followed by a photo of Youngboy with a mouth full of Xanax. Surrounded by yes men, Youngboy has gotten himself into a dangerous spot. YB is beyond fucked on benzos. 32 in one night? That's 64 milligrams of Xanax. This man is beyond physically addicted to them and will seize out / literally die if he tries to get off the bars without a medical taper. With nothing but enablers around him and
I think niggas that's around him probably low-key scared of him. Probably scared to speak up and say, hey, Contrell, hey, bro, we should probably, because what? He gonna probably cut him off. But I'm telling you, dealing with somebody with addiction, trust me, I've dealt with people in my family. I've lived with people that have had addiction. One of them passed away from it. One of them died from it. Trying to cop something, ended up being rat poison, and she got brain dead right there, dropped dead. Listen, man, I've seen this. Those people, they can get real aggressive and they will cut you off for nothing.
Nowhere to go. Youngboy
has
has
try to help them niggas to think that you their biggest enemy, man. They will cut you off. All the cars and shit that he giving y'all, the money, all that's gone. The NBA chain, take it off, nigga, take it off. If you ever try to even talk to him about this, man. So I can't fault them 100% because they was probably scared of this nigga, bro.
Much of the last few years stuck getting high in the mountains of Utah. And in papers filed by his lawyers, they argued that his inability to get off of house arrest was only making things worse. Last year, they cited that the deterioration of Mr. Golden's mental health was due to the long period of social isolation. In that time, he's even become a Mormon in an attempt to find some meaning in his life. While at the same time, he's grown increasingly paranoid to the point that he allegedly had 2 of his baby mamas beat up another one of his baby mamas over a custody dispute.
Hitting your son's mom in the face with a gun is crazy. Letting her get hit in the face with a gun is crazy. I left with so much blood, bro. It's blood on my son. I just have to go to Target and grab him a quick little outfit before I fly.
With all that going on, it's no surprise that in interviews, he continually seems like he's at a loss. With all the traumas of his past being numbed by narcotics, but never fully eluded.
I'm terrified of people. I am very scared of people. Like on my kids. I am terrified of people. And I am very shy. But I never knew why once I walk on the stage, I could get it done and leave. People are cruel. It's like you can't control ourselves. So you never know what someone will do you.
In the time that he spent locked up at home, Youngboy has clearly spiraled. But it turns out that it's not just mental well-being that's in freefall, it's his career as well. Because the same petition to change the terms of his house arrest also argued that his prolonged detention was also damaging his career. They said that analysis by his label, Atlanta Records, indicated that sales have suffered due to his limited ability to
niggas, oh, the sales went down. They don't give a fuck about a nigga health. The sales went down. We losing money. We paying them a lot of money. We losing money. We don't care if he's still here alive or not, but yeah, he got addiction. Okay, but the sales are down. It's crazy, bro.
Produce quality recordings. Music and entertainment is Mr. Golden's only way of earning a living and supporting his family, the Star's attorney said. Mr. Golden has exhausted all his options for recording in his home with a very limited production crew. Back at the height of his career, everything Youngboy touched became a smash with his fans.
Facts.
But his last mixtape peaked at number 17 on the charts, with his last number 1 on the billboards coming in April of 2020. No longer commanding the excitement of the past, Youngboy has been basically recording on his lonesome in recent years with the same producers and little to no features. And unfortunately for YB, this might not be a choice, because whether it's record execs or fellow artists, NBA Youngboy has burned a lot of bridges in recent years. And if you ever wondered why you don't see a lot of rappers declaring free Youngboy, then that's why. For a long time now, Youngboy's career has been in a state of constant chaos. As I went in depth on in our video about the worst contracts in hip-hop, YB was saddled with a shoddy record deal out of the gate from Atlantic that eventually had him offering to do albums for free just to get his masters. For a while, you couldn't put a microphone in his face without hearing that he had money stolen from him.
As you get signed, then I think as you learn the business, you learn like how badly you been taken advantage of. It's like with YouTube, I ain't never got paid from YouTube a day in my life. Nigga make all the money off my YouTube and then give me a small percentage out my shit. Fuck you, like all that shit, slavers.
While on house arrest, he even considered leaving rap behind entirely. On his IG, he posted a photo of a hard drive and declared that you can have it for 100 million and I'll never rap again on everything.
I done found time for myself, nigga. Hey, every $15 million tour come my way getting turned down. I don't want to do no show. I don't want nothing but a bigger house, nigga. It gave me time to myself. My daughter know who I am.
But when he wasn't trying to throw in the towel, Youngboy has been fighting against what he sees as the injustice of the industry. Because in his opinion, his outspokenness about the major record companies has led him to be blackballed. He even claimed that Atlantic had purposefully stopped Colors, one of his final releases on the label.
Colors was hard. Bro, if you against the label, if you taking shots at the label, listen, all the streams on Apple Music, why you don't see a lot of, bro, when YB and Quando released, what was it, 3860? I had to physically search that. That didn't pop up on Apple, for me at least. It didn't pop up on Apple Music. When you into it with the labels, they gonna make sure that they gonna hide your music. They gonna make sure you don't get that big spot in Times Square with your face on it.
From reaching the top of the charts.
But it's backwards though, because they want more money from you, but yet they don't want to promote you.
For 2 weeks straight with a mixtape, so they took it down off the charts. I don't give a fuck. You still can't stop me. He wrote via a YouTube community post. Don't sign to Atlantic. If you an artist, they not gonna support you, especially if you live a certain way. Why blackball me? I'm the good guy. Despite signing a deal with Motown in 2023, recent interviews have made it clear that he wants nothing to do with hip-hop. Not even the recognition of the mark he's left on the genre.
Yeah, do you want that accolade to like of what you said? Like you obviously know you've influenced the whole generation and influenced so many other rappers, like, you know.
I just want to be paid. I don't know, but I think this whole music thing, like every aspect of it, like it's all ignorance. I just want to be paid. Yeah, like, I don't care about all the extra shit.
But wishing to separate yourself from the culture is one thing. What Youngboy doesn't mention is that in recent years, he has almost entirely alienated himself from the hip-hop industry. First, there was the Lil Durk beef, which I covered at length in my Victims of Youngboy video. The gist is that Youngboy's connection with Quando Rondo, a Never Broke Again signee and King Von's rival, along with Rondo's associate Lil Tim, who killed Von, created serious tension between Youngboy and the city of Chicago. To top it off, Youngboy released several lines in his music that seemed to take shots at Von, making the situation even worse. A cold war between Durk and YB was born as a result, with each man taking shots at each other on record, and even leading to a potential Kanye vs 50 style sales showdown before Durk's Almost Healed record got pushed back. With Durk being one of the most popular and profitable artists in the game today, feuding with him basically shrank overnight. And as 21 Savage explained, YB siding with Von's killer meant that he was basically guilty by association, and that's a line most artists aren't willing to cross.
I disagreed with what 21 Savage was saying. I think he said something like, you know, you gotta pick a side, and but Youngboy and Quando, they went back years before the whole Von situation happened. Tragic situation, because Von lost his life and Quando Rondo lost all his, I ain't gonna say he lost all his momentum, but Quando, as talented as he is, man, like he's still struggling to, like he should be ascended way higher than what he is. We still support on this channel. I don't pick no sides on this channel, but it really made me sick when I started seeing everybody that once loved YB and then they jump ship and collab with YB's ops. Like that, I can't get behind that, because I just feel like that's real like high schooly to me. It's real, it's high schooly to me. And it's like you only fuck with certain niggas because they into it with YB.
And that's a line most artists aren't willing to cross.
And a lot of niggas fuck with Durk, so a lot of niggas with Youngboy shit because they fuck with Durk.
It's not gangs and shit like that. It's a music business, like, you know what I mean? You might fuck with both of them, but nigga, you might want to have a song with both of them at one point.
I feel like you gotta
pick sides. Yo, somebody told me that shit.
If it's me, don't be in my face, like, and then be fucking with a nigga who you know killed my boy. Like, I ain't.
That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't pull the trigger. I ain't kill him. Bro, that ain't got nothing. It's money at the end of the day, man. And I think 21 and YB, I think they had a little like turbulence, but I think they, when it come down to 4L, I think 4L and YB still got some connections with each other. But either way, man, it's crazy.
Yo, bitch ass over there. We ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Personally, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna down there treat you like you one of them.
Now, on the surface, this shouldn't affect Youngboy that much. In interviews, he's insisted that he doesn't even listen to any other artists.
You listen to Polo G?
Fuck no, man. What type of games you playing?
Man, I'm just asking, man.
No. Shit. Man, you know.
Ain't no crazy shit like Savage, like Savage my nigga. You know what I mean? Like he dope.
Fuck no.
What about Young and Ace?
But the end product of all this anger and resentment towards other artists has meant that where other rappers will support their fellow MCs, no one shows up for him.
Why do y'all think the industry support was so low? When Drake dropped, everybody and their mama posted his album.
Yeah.
Everybody. And by the way, I understand why. Like, number one, if Drake hasn't helped you already, you want to stay in his good graces and you want to seem like you're supporting him. Remember back in the day when artists like Dirk and even Meek, they used to tweet out that, yo, you don't post my album, they feel offended by it. So you see nowadays, if Thug drops, the whole industry posts it. Gunna drops, the whole industry posts it. You get me? Travis drops.
Used to.
The whole industry posts it.
Gunna's still going crazy too. Gunna don't need none of you niggas.
Youngboy dropped, and it was not that many. Now, you might say, well, Youngboy don't fuck with nobody, and that's true. But I will say, Youngboy in the last year has been on collabs with Future, Migos, Nicki Minaj. Did all of them post his album? Did they show the support? I think that Youngboy was used in a good capacity for other artists when they needed singles.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy to think. And you got to think about the artists, the tier that these artists, Future, Migos, Nicki Minaj, those are some, bro, this ain't no little Joe Schmo ass rappers, boy. These the heavy hitters. They post. That's crazy.
Was used in a good capacity for other artists when they needed singles. Did they reciprocate?
Even before tracks like Fuck the Industry Part 2, where he dissed the likes of Drake,
right,
J. Cole, Lil Yachty, and Young Miami, among others, YB has proven that he doesn't care about the consequences of blowing off rappers. Because he actively blew off a studio session with Cole and left him sitting there for 8 hours just because he wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, J. Cole up, man. They lied. They say I ain't gonna go to the studio with him. I know who told somebody that too though. Because there was only a few people who knew about that, and that wasn't even the case. I was mad at the moment. I was going through something. So what the fuck I'm gonna go in this main studio session for a meet up with him, knowing that I ain't in the mode to talk or just to be, a beat.
Could have texted. I will say, and we got to keep it real. As far as the Cole situation, YB, you should have texted him. Could have hit him up, let him know, like, look, bro, I ain't feeling good. I ain't feeling the best. We gonna do this another time.
Or in the mode that to fuck around. So I get on this man, I be acting like a bitch or something, or what the fuck I'm gonna go around this man for if I know I ain't in a mood to talk to nobody or sit there or just even be around somebody. What the fuck I'm gonna go around for?
An introvert in a genre of extroverts, YB is a man who can count his allies on one hand. And recently, he dispatched another one by dissing Birdman. When Youngboy was on the rise, Cash Money's Birdman heaped praise on his fellow Louisianan rapper.
Yeah.
I think NBA Youngboy might be the biggest rapper. I said that 5 years ago.
What you mean big when you say big?
Ain't no nigga gonna be bigger than NBA Youngboy. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
When that little boy get his mind right and he come from under this bullshit, so when he come out here, he know one thing. The shit he was doing, he ain't got to do because he could get this little nigga here, bro. NBA Youngboy, bro. That shit ain't normal. Nah, he not normal. He's special. Bro, he's a $1 billion nigga in flesh. He gonna get it in touring, merchant, music.
Over time, Birdman's unwavering belief in Youngboy, or at least his desire to get a slice of the pie, led to collaborations and even a full mixtape from the two of them. But sadly, Baby's prediction that Youngboy would get his mind right and stay out of trouble never came to fruition. Now, in the last track recorded before heading to jail, known as Tears of War, YB took shots at Baby, spitting,
I knew that stunner never loved me, should've listened to Carter, boy. Tears of War. Not enough people talk about Tears of War. That was tough.
With foes in both law enforcement and the rap game on all sides, Youngboy seems to have accepted his fate. After taking a plea deal in his 2020 firearms charge, YB was immediately hit with another one on top of all the other hefty jail terms he's facing for the prescription fraud ring. At the moment, the future doesn't look too bright for Youngboy, and to be honest, it's just saddening that he's still in this predicament when back in 2017, he seemed to have clarity to understand that if he messed up, then he'd be the one to take the fall. You do something, they're gonna come get you, and whoever you're with and whatever they do, you're accountable for it just because you got the biggest name. Back then, it seemed like there was real hope that he would change his ways. In those days, it's likely that neither YB nor his fans imagined they would still be hijacking his court proceedings all those years later to demand his freedom.
Another preliminary hearing.
Free YB, man.
Free Whoppy.
Everyone needs to stay muted, okay?
Free Whoppy.
Whether it was fame,
Wow,
beef, or the
what?
narcotics that he's so clearly dependent
Wow.
on, YB's vision has become clouded since those days. Now it seems like that is the fate that awaits him for many years. But while they're sad to see a man they call top behind bars, a lot of YB fans understand that he has no one to really blame for sabotaging his life and career than Youngboy. I'm a Youngboy fan, but I gotta call out bullshit. He was already out on bond with Fed charges pending. Not only that, his lawyers had it good for him. They was waiting on the Supreme Court to rule about felons with guns. All he had to do was wait. He put this on himself.
Again, a lot easier said than done. I said the same thing, bro. I said the same thing, man. You are up millions of dollars. All you got to do is sit in a house. But this is somebody who is battling an addiction. This is different. It's easier said than done. This is somebody who's still battling demons. Come on.
If YB's tragic case reminds us of anything, it's that there's a reason why they call it the trap. Because although he may live in Utah, the life he led in Baton Rouge never left him. And the more money he had, the more he could self-medicate to handle what he has seen and done. Now facing years behind bars, a fellow New Orleans rap legend worries that there's every chance he'll slide deeper into that spiral in the pen.
I just feel like when you need help, you need help. I mean, I was facing jail time. This right before I went, and I couldn't get off the weed and codeine. Like,
so codeine,
I needed help. I never, when I got to prison, I did more codeine than I was doing on the streets. I needed help. It was no amount of time that I was facing that could make me get off it. Vlad, you gotta understand, we been needing help. I was sent straight to prison. I was never even off of rehab.
That's what I
Despite
said,
all of
man.
his talent and the love.
That's what I fucking said, man. There's no real resources, man. They claim it's rehabilitation. It's not rehabilitation, man.
Of his fan base, the road ahead is bumpy for Youngboy. Let's just hope that there's some way he could bounce back from all of this whenever he is finally released from the dark bed that he's made for himself. My name is Luesta, and I want to thank you guys for watching.
That was a fire video. That was a really good video. I will say this, man. I will say this right now. Yes, it's looking real. Why is Drake looking like that in that thing? It's looking real like iffy right now for NBA Youngboy as far as his future goes. You know, I think he's getting sentenced in December. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I will say this. I'm a strong believer that when this is all behind him, you know, he does whatever time he can do. I don't know if he's going to get time served. He could be out in a couple of years. Maybe he does the full sentence or whatever. I do think, and this is into account, he is still very young. He still has a very loyal fan base. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of music on the hard drive. I know he can bounce back from this. I know NBA Youngboy can bounce back from this and become the star that we know he can be. And y'all can come back to this video when that day comes. Save this video, bookmark it. I believe NBA Youngboy will come back better than ever, man. Right now, he got to sit down for a little bit, but it is for his own good, man. I just hope that he gets the resources, he gets the help that he needs. Don't just lock him in a cell for 23 hours. Actually help this man. Actually help him out. Give him the resources, the people to talk to. Make sure he's good, man. Because this is a lot of talent. A lot of talent that's got to be put on the shelf now. It's crazy, man. How NBA Youngboy blackballed himself. Y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Sound off in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me. And until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.